Marinaro, it is the Sick Podcast. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing pretty good because the Montreal Canadiens beat the Vegas Golden Knights by a score of 3-2 in Game 2 in Vegas. And I have to say, where are all of those Montreal Canadiens haters, Habs haters? Where are you? All of you that were texting after the Montreal Canadiens lost the first game to the Vegas Golden Knights by a score of 4-1, and you were all texting and you were saying, this is not the lousy North Division. This is not the Toronto Maple Leafs who don't have success in the playoffs. This is not Winnipeg, who one player got suspended and the rest of the guys just crumbled and folded. Where are all of you? I don't hear you. I'm Marinaro. You'll hear me. It's the Sick Podcast, and the show is brought to you by Essentia, the world's only natural memory foam mattress. Go to myessentia.com/sickpod and see why Essentia is the mattress of choice for many athletes, including over 25% of professional hockey players. Use code SICKPOD for a free pillow with your purchase. Essentia, beyond organic sleep. Speaking of sleep, the Montreal Canadiens had to find a way to put the Vegas Golden Knights and their fans to sleep. 18,000 strong in Vegas. And by the way, it was really nice to see a lot of Canadiens fans in attendance, donning their Canadiens jerseys in Vegas, making the trip from wherever you live in the world to go to Vegas. It was really, really cool. I say cheers. This is my drink of the playoffs. It's Cherry River. It's a hard seltzer, and it comes in different flavors. And I tried the peach yesterday, and I'm going back with the peach today. And I love it. All right, okay. What the Canadiens did was they needed to score the first goal of the hockey game. We all know that when they score the first goal of the hockey game, they are a real tough nut to crack. Case in point, Game 5, 6, and 7 versus Toronto. All 4 games versus Winnipeg. They did not score the first goal of the hockey game versus Vegas. They went down in that hockey game, and they had their chances in Game 1. In the first 9 minutes, the Canadiens were buzzing. They were flying. They had chances in close. Brendan Gallagher had the best one. He couldn't score. In Game 2, the Canadiens actually seemed more energized than the team that played in Game 1 after a 1-week layoff. And maybe there was a little bit of rust in Game 1 for the entire game. There was no rust in Game 2. The Canadiens looked a lot better. Vegas, up until the third period, when they really had to get desperate, after 2 periods, they had nothing to show for their performance yesterday. Absolutely nothing. Anyway, the Canadiens start real good. Yoel Armia gets the big first goal of the hockey game. Sustained pressure by that line of Stahl, Perry, and Armia. They did a great job. They were buzzing. The puck comes to Armia. He's a right-handed shot. He's on the left side. Boom. He's able to pot it home. He puts the Canadiens up by a score of 1-0. Tyler Toffoli. This guy he was heating up last series, and now he's got a big goal here versus Vegas. Tyler Toffoli, a goal scorer, either shoots perfect and scores, or sometimes has imperfect shots and will score anyway. That's what a goal scorer is. It's a great play by Cole Caulfield, who's a heads-up play. He's looking. He sees Tyler Toffoli opening, and now Suzuki and Toffoli established chemistry down the stretch in the regular season. And now Caulfield and Toffoli have a case in point, the game-winning goal in overtime of Game 4 versus the Winnipeg Jets. Caulfield to Toffoli goal. Last night, Caulfield to Toffoli. Fans on his shot, and Marc-Andre Fleury totally misreads it, and it goes right through him. That's a banana. That is one that Fleury has to stop. Take a picture of it. Speaking of pictures, excellent photo, centrally located, close to downtown shopping in Montreal and close to university, ships to all of Canada, professional staff at the store and online to help you choose the gear you really need. Excellentphoto.ca. Take a picture of Tyler Toffoli's goal. That's how you can beat Marc-Andre Fleury. What am I trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you that if you shoot, Fleury could be good for a bad goal per game. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, speaking of goaltending, Carey Price, with the game 2-0 for Montreal, there's a bang-bang play with Martinez in close. And I watched the replay 100 times, and I still don't know how Price stopped it. Was it with his blocker? Was it with his shoulder? Did Martinez hit the crossbar? I don't know, but safe to say everyone says it was a save. It didn't make its way into the net. It was unbelievable. Goalies need to make the right save at the right time. Carey Price, that stop that he made off Martinez, that's the difference right there in a nutshell in game 2 is the Montreal Canadiens with a great start. The Montreal Canadiens getting the first goal of the hockey game. The Canadiens scoring a goal where Marc-Andre Fleury gives up a bad one. Vegas comes back the other way with the Canadiens up 2-0. Carey Price does a miracle. And instead of the score being 2-1, the Canadiens make it 3-0 a couple of minutes later when Paul Byron breaks away after a pass from Kotkaniemi. And Marc-Andre Fleury, instead of being patient and outwaiting the shot taker Kotkaniemi, he dives face first, Richard Sevigny style, tries for the poke check or to intercept it or whatever it is. And Byron just puts it to the backhand up and over Marc-Andre Fleury. And at that point, it's 3-0 Montreal. And when it's 3-0 Montreal, you know what I'm doing at that point? I was having a drink again. These are my friends over at the Geloso Group, by the way. You can pick them up. Their products at all grocery stores pretty much. Cherry River, hard seltzer, only 4% alcohol, and just 90 calories. It goes down real easy. Very little sugar, by the way. So it's pretty healthy, all things considering. I love it. Okay. At 3-0 last night, I was having a drink. I want the Montreal Canadiens to win. I live in Montreal. I grew up cheering for this team. And you know what? I want to be part of a cup run. And the Montreal Canadiens are now 3 wins away. But last night, when they went up by a score of 3-0, believe me when I tell you this, believe me, as good as Vegas is, I knew the Canadiens were going to win the hockey game. Why? Because the stats don't lie, by the way. The stats will tell you, and they'll show you, that when Carey Price has his team score 3 goals for him in a playoff game, Carey Price wins, and his team wins. And so at that point, I knew they were going to do it. I really did. And listen, there was a push from Vegas. Nick Suzuki, God bless him. He was fantastic in the face-off circle, just to show how this sport can be unfair at times. He's lost 3 face-offs, 3 defensive zone face-offs out of 10 defensive zone face-offs that he's taken in the first 2 games versus Vegas. And all 3 that he's lost, the puck has ended up in the Canadiens' net. So he loses 2 face-offs. Both result in Alex Pietrangelo goals. But even at 3-2, Carey Price is smiling. He was smiling early on in the game when he stopped Martinez. He went to the bench. Corey Perry looked at him. They were both smiling. And after that goal to make it 3-2, that Vegas narrows the lead, Carey Price is smiling again. Yes, a very important game, and he's smiling again. And that gives fans the confidence. It gives his teammates the confidence. It gives the coaching staff everyone the confidence. And at that point, I just knew the Montreal Canadiens were going to win that game. Hey, I want to give a shout out to sportbuffshop.com for all of their officially licensed sports apparel and more. Use code 615 for 15% off on all of their items. The Canadiens took a very big decision going into that game last night. The big decision was not to dress Jeff Petrie coming off of injury, because if Petrie tells you I'm good to go, you dress him. He was their best defenseman throughout the entire regular season. But they brought in John Merrill, much to the chagrin of many, I would imagine, at the time, because Petrie went in for Kulak, let's just say, and Merrill went in for Romanov. Look, a lot of us want to see Romanov in the lineup. He's young. He's energetic. He hits like a tank. He's mobile. He's got a good first pass. He's a good skater. He's got an infectious smile. The experience will be great for him. He's got he's got a lot to like there with Romanov. But here's the deal. In game 1, Romanov was a -2, and it's not his fault, by the way. Even Ben Sherratt was a -3. There were others that were minuses, but it was not his fault. But it just seems that when they put John Merrill in the lineup, he's not flashy. His play is not overly sexy, but he's reliable. And whether it's 12 minutes or 13 minutes, doesn't matter. Usually, he's very reliable. And last night, he was an even. He played just over 12 minutes. They won by a score of 3-2. That's a big-time decision. And Dominic Ducharme talks about making decisions as a staff, and the staff is unanimous. And so, you have to hand it, because if they would have lost, we would have absolutely obliterated them, destroyed them. We would have destroyed them for not playing Romanov, but they didn't play him, and they won. So they got the right lineup changes. Out was Kulak, out was Romanov, in was Petrie, in was Merrill. They win by a score of 3-2. In the last minute of the game, by the way, some unbelievable plays. Phil Deneau wins a huge defensive zone faceoff. Tyler Toffoli with a sprawling defensive effort to dive and basically poke check it away and out of the arena. And Shea Weber blocks a shot right at the final second, and you could see him in pain with seconds to go, but he was able to suck it up. And Weber in game 2 was an absolute horse from the minutes that he logged, from the shots on goal, from the block shots, from sacrificing his body, from playing through pain. I don't think I've ever seen Shea Weber play better hockey than he's playing right now. And that's a lot to say because he looked like he was getting a little bit slower down the stretch. He is 35 years old. He will turn 36 in August. But Weber is playing absolutely unbelievable. He is playing lights out. Amazing efforts. Carey Price, the huge save off Martinez, and down the stretch with ice in his veins. Fantastic. Phil Deneau, Vegas' number one line, did nothing again. And by the way, this time it should be noted, Chandler Stevenson was not playing in that game, and that was a huge loss for Vegas. We'll see how long he's out. Pete DeBoer, coach of the Vegas Golden Knights, says he's day-to-day. They really need him. This is a team that isn't overly strong at center ice position anyway, the Vegas Golden Knights, with Chandler Stevenson, William Karlsson, Nicolas Roy, and Keegan Colasar. And what happened with Stevenson's absence is that Colasar and Roy had to take we're actually taking the spot of Stevenson in the lineup, and both of them were getting some spot duty on that line, and that line didn't. Hey, listen, here's a bright spot for the Canadiens. The Vegas Golden Knights, they have one goal to show from their forwards in 2 games. One from their forwards in 2 games. That's it. The other goals, they've scored what? They've scored 6 total. 5 of their 6 goals have come from defensemen. 5 of 6. That's pretty crazy, is it not? So the bad news for the Canadiens is Vegas' D gets involved in the play and the Canadiens give up goals to Vegas defense. The good news for the Canadiens is they are shutting down Vegas' offense. And I'm going to tell you this. If this keeps on happening, the Canadiens are going to end up winning the series. If Vegas doesn't get goals from their offense and only from their defense, the Canadiens will win the series. And you can see some frustration mounting at the final whistle with Mark Stone, with Max Pacioretty. You could see them. The Canadiens are starting to get under their skin, and Carey Price he might be in their heads a little bit. Pacioretty was on a 2-on-1 yesterday, tried for a perfect shot. He hit the goalpost, and on another goal, he probably doesn't try for a perfect shot. He probably tries for a regular shot. He probably scores. Game 3, it's going back to Montreal. I can't wait. There will be 3,500 fans in the stands. They'll be celebrating. Hey, it's an off day, and they're celebrating already in Montreal because the Canadiens got a split from the Vegas Golden Knights. And when you go on the road, you know what you want? Yeah, of course you'll take 2-0, but you want the split. You want the 2 games, but you'll take the split. And they got the split. So now they've taken home ice away from the Vegas Golden Knights. They come back to Montreal. Montrealers are pretty happy. They're sipping on their Cherry River hard seltzer. We're all sipping together at the same time. Just as good. It's an amazing feeling right now. Now, big question is, who do you have your money on in Game 3? And I'm wondering if my buddy Cash will put his money on the Canadiens for Game 3. I'm wondering if he's going to put his money on the series between the New York Islanders and the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm wondering if he's going to put his money on basketball. I'm wondering if he's going to put his money on the Euro. Cash, there's only one way to find out. Money. Cash, make me some money, my man.
It's time for Sick Picks. Brought to you by MyBookie.
And you can place your bets on MyBookie. Go to mybookie.ag/the Sick Podcast and use code SickPicks for a 50% deposit bonus. Bet, win, get paid. Cash, my buddy Cash, his handle is at Run My Bets. You can check him out. Oh my God, how much money do you have there, buddy?
Last week's winning, guys. 10 G's in 1 week. Let's
go. Hold on a second to show that that's real money. Can you just, no. Show us that's real money there. This is not a joke here. Show them all.
Look at this, guys. This is real money. Does this look like fake?
Oh my God. No, money, that's not fake. That's real money, my man.
This is Cash, real money right
my man, Cash. Make me some money, buddy. Make me some money.
Okay, guys, before I get into what Tony said, I do have a bet for Montreal Vegas. I got a series look too. Before I get into that, guys, We're absolutely crushing it right now. Last show, what did I tell you guys? Joel Embiid over 29.5 points. He didn't even need to play in the fourth quarter. Yes, he got 37, 38 points. He played in the fourth quarter. We didn't even need the fourth quarter. The bet was literally almost done at halftime. Clippers +2. I told you guys place another huge bet on that. Devastating news yesterday morning. Kawhi Leonard ruled out, likely for the playoffs. What happens, guys? I don't even need the 8 points that they changed the line to. I don't even need the 2 points. They win outright by 6 points. They get the win outright. We cash both bets. Let's go, guys. That's huge. What a massive day yesterday. On to today, on to tomorrow. Tony was asking me what I think about the Montreal-Vegas series. Guys, I like the spot Montreal's in. If you would have told me that they get the split in Vegas, I would have told you I like Montreal to win the series. You're going to get them at a similar price to where the series started. You're getting them at +300. You're getting them at a really, really, really solid price. I don't think you're going to see this price again. If they split again in Montreal, which I think is more than likely, you're telling me for +300, they just got to win a best out of 3. Put my money on that, guys. Don't go heavy. Don't slam it. Don't put 3 units. Put a unit +300. Give me Montreal for the series. I have a second pick for you guys for NBA. I'm going to the Philadelphia 76ers, coming off an epic collapse yesterday. Tony, I'm not sure if you saw that. Down up 24 points. They lose the game. They were up 20 in the fourth quarter. They lose the game in the fourth quarter. Give me the 76ers, guys. They're the better team. They should have won. They should have won last game. They should have won game 4 as well. Up 20 in both. Get me the 76ers, 2 units on this play. Book me up a decent-sized bet. You can get it on my bookie, -160 odds. Book me for the 76ers. Book me for Montreal to win the series, +300. Let's get to the cash, guys. Let's get to the window. We're cashing. We're firing on all cylinders right now. All sports are hot. Let's go.
All right, that's my buddy Cash. You know what? I often say, who's better than me? Nobody. You know who's better than me? Cash is better than me. Cash is better. Did you see how much money he has? It's up with Cash. Show me that money again.
There we
10
go, guys.
G's, bro. I've never seen 10 G's before in my life. 10 G's. Money, 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 money. Oh, my God. Who's better than me? I run my bets is better than me. Cash, we'll talk to you soon. You know what it feels like, he says, to put your money on the Canadiens. Slam a unit, he says. You know what it feels like to me? It feels like 93.
I believe that it's meant to be, and it